Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, another F&M senator resigns amid controversy. A former Court of Appeal president sends a warning message to parliamentarians.
6 men answer to drug charges in the magistrate's court today. That and more tonight on our news.
Political rally season kicks off. Welcome to our news. I'm Christina McNeil. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, Free National Movement Senator Lanisha Rolle today resigned from the Senate with immediate effect amid an internal party controversy, which alleged that a recently recorded conversation with another party member deeply offended several sitting MPs and numerous party officials. In a statement released by the party today, Rolle said, "It has been a great honor and privilege for me to serve the people of the Bahamas in such high office. However, at this current time in my life, I need to focus on a few personal matters and do not feel that I would be able to devote the time needed to best serve the Bahamian people. I cannot in good conscience allow myself to continue to serve while not being able to focus all of my attention to the work of the people. I truly believe the Free National Movement is strongest when it is focused on the work of the people, and my hope is that my resignation today will allow the party to appoint someone that can fill my role and dedicate the needed time to achieving the greater good of all Bahamians. I thank the F&M leadership for giving me the opportunity to serve the people, and I look forward to working in my own capacity to help ensure that the F&M continues to move forward as it strives to rescue the Bahamian people from a failing government." Rolle stirred controversy earlier this year when she called into Guardian Talk Radio the conversation with Shanique Miller and blasted detractors on F&M leader Dr. Hubert Minnis. She also spoke disparagingly about several F&M MPs, particularly Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner. Meanwhile, Minnis also issued a statement accepting Rolle's resignation and thanking her for serving as a senator. Minnis has now appointed Dr. Dwayne Sands to the Senate, who he says will serve the Bahamian people with great honor. You can read more about this story in tomorrow's Nassau Guardian. In other news, after taking the government to task over what she believes is an unnecessary constitutional referendum, former Court of Appeal President Dame Joan Sawyer is now weighing in on Tall Pines Member of Parliament Leslie Miller's controversial comments regarding the transgender community. Vonique Toot reports.
Think before you speak. That was Dame Joan Sawyer's simple advice to outspoken MP Leslie Miller, who has made news headlines on several occasions in recent weeks for his controversial comments on the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. Miller asserted that members of that community should be exiled to their own private island and raised concerns about the country's future if people cater to their lifestyle. Dame Joan says people must learn to practice love and compassion for those different from themselves.
That is where our education system has failed us. I'm not blaming any particular government, because our education system has not passed on the culture of the Bahamas. The culture of the Bahamas I grew up in, young people, was you practice hospitality to strangers. You practice charity to those less fortunate than yourselves. And you practice love and compassion for those suffering with whatever problems they had.
One transgender woman accused Miller of spewing hate, a claim he rejected. However, the former Court of Appeal president says the country's leaders must learn to practice restraint.
I wish he would practice what I've been trying to practice myself. Restraint of the tongue. My grandmother used to say, think before you speak. Think before you speak. I wish he would do that. As a leader in the country, I wish he would do that more. And I wish more leaders in the country would restrain themselves.
Dame Joan says she has known and loved people in the LGBT community, noting all people are made in the image and likeness of God.
LGBT, I know you would be surprised to know who know me, and I know them and I hug them. Because to me, all people are made in the image and likeness of God. I don't hate people because of what they do. I hate what they do if it's wrong, and what they do to themselves if they shouldn't do it. That is what I was taught by my grandmother. You don't hate people, you hate their ways.
Reporting for our news, I'm Vonique Toot.
Thanks, Monique. Well, a member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Nico Grant, says he is less concerned with the many interpretations of the 4 gender equality bills and more concerned with the government's plans for the June 7th referendum. Simone Davis reports.
When initially pressed on his views about the gender equality referendum, Grant declined to comment.
I don't wish to comment on the referendum.
Bill 4 would make it unlawful to discriminate based on sex, which is defined as male or female. Many publicly stated that they would not support that bill because they fear it would lead to same-sex marriage.
I'd be more than happy to speak to the bill that is being debated. And that is, while I support the bill, enforcement is what I'm concerned with.
Grant compared the government's handling of the referendum to its failure to effectively address the burnt-down Bamsey dorm, suggesting that there must be proper enforcement when dealing with major issues that greatly affect the nation.
We must remember that there was a fire at Bamsey over a year ago, and the contractor had no insurance. Therefore, the same officers who would have to police these regulations are the same officers that would have unlawfully signed off on millions of dollars to have been paid to this contractor. This contractor should not have gotten a penny without that insurance. And so I'm concerned about enforcement.
National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage revealed in the House of Assembly on Wednesday that the gender equality referendum has been budgeted at $1.57 million. The referendum is set to take place on June 7th. Reporting for our news, I'm Simone Davis.
In other news, 45-year-old Ian Porter is the 4th man charged in connection to an alleged plot to murder O'Neal Marshall. Police say sometime between April 30th and May 1st, Porter and 3 others conspired to murder O'Neal Marshall. Porter was not required to enter a plea. The case will proceed by way of a voluntary bill of indictment. Porter was denied bail and will be remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. He returns to court on the 21st of June. And following a multi-million-dollar cocaine bust by drug enforcement officers in waters off Eleuthera, 6 Haitian men were brought before the courts to answer to those charges today. Our Giorgio Bain was in court and filed this report.
In relation to Wednesday's multi-million-dollar cocaine bust here in Nassau, 6 Haitian males were brought before the magistrate's court to answer to 4 charges. All 6 males pled not guilty to all 4 charges and will return to court in September. 38-year-old Luke Robert St. Flair seen in the gold long-sleeve shirt, 48-year-old Misney Trevale seen in the green and white striped shirt, 48-year-old Joan Kennedy Luban seen in the gray Disney shirt, 31-year-old Olis Paul seen in the navy and tan striped jacket, 40-year-old Franz Dare seen in the navy jacket and khaki pants, and 29-year-old Nixon Simeon in the gray V-neck t-shirt all appeared before Magistrate Andrew Forbes to answer to 4 charges connected with the recent drug bust in Eleuthera. The charges included conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, and conspiracy to import dangerous drugs. It is alleged that between the 6th of May and the 11th of May, the 6 men left Haiti with the intent to import dangerous drugs, namely cocaine, into the Bahamas. The 60-foot Haitian vessel was intercepted in waters off Eleuthera this week. The 6 men were denied bail and will be remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. They returned to court on September 6, 2016. Reporting for our news, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Thanks, Giorgio. The National Insurance Board is denying claims that the backlog in benefit payments to customers amounts to $16 million, as was reported. NIB Director Rowena Bethel held a news conference on Thursday to update the public on the board's transition to a new multi-million-dollar IT platform. She notes that officials have encountered transition issues which have inconvenienced customers. The greatest impact, she says, has been felt by customers who receive disablement benefit claims and short-term claims like maternity, sickness, injury, and unemployment. 30% of customers have reportedly been affected. NIB's services are expected to be fully restored by mid-June.